I love anime games. I'm not gonna deny that. Whenever I see a new anime get announced, whether it's an anime gacha game, an anime MMO, an anime RPG, I am immediately excited for it. I love creature collection games like Pokemon, like Digimon, like Temtem. So when I hear that they are making an anime creature collection game and it is releasing on Steam this month, you best bet my excitement levels are off the charts. Before we jump into this video though, I do want to take a moment here to thank all of our incredible patrons over on Patreon. Your support is absolutely incredible, and I cannot thank you all enough for being a part of this journey. Also, if you have a moment, consider following me over on Twitch. I stream gacha games there every weekend. This right here is Volzerk Monsters and Lands Unknown. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at the name and you're thinking to yourself, who on earth approved this name? What were they thinking? And why are they allowed to name anything? What was going through their mind when the concept for this name was originally conceived? And who approved it? Now, Volzerk, regardless of what I think of the game's name, actually looks pretty cool from the images I've seen thus far. It's a little bit vague in terms of the kind of game it is. Judging from the images, I do not think it is a completely open world game. It is a creature collection game where you collect, you tame, train, level, evolve, breed monsters together to create some kind of super monster. It looks like the areas are very large, very open, but I don't think it is a complete sandbox world akin to something like Genshin Impact or maybe Tower Fantasy. This game is releasing onto Steam, and they do actually have a trailer that I am curious of. Now, I will note that it does say that English is not supported right now, but they did confirm English is coming, and I will touch on that after we take a look at this trailer. Hold on. So, before we go any further, I just want to know, at the top right of the screen, I don't know if you can see this. Let me disable my cam for a minute here. At the top right of the screen, we have three characters. The brown-haired girl, I'm assuming, is the main character. Pink-haired girl, blonde-haired girl. It looks like each one has their own roles: sword, axe, staff. It looks like there are two, like, Pokemon-esque monsters. There's an HP bar, an MP or a TP bar. The monsters themselves have levels. It looks like you could swap between which character you're playing as, I think, because at the same time, it looks like there are three other characters here, completely different characters. We have male characters, we have female characters, completely different monsters as well. Different HP, different level pools. I don't know if that means then that you recruit these characters and then you can play as them if these characters have different abilities, or if these are actually other people that are playing the game with you. And you can see at the top left, there's actually a mini map that showcases a variety of different monsters that are in the immediate area. The areas look pretty large. There are bosses, dungeons. It's like they're taming them. You can also ride the monsters, which is really cool. Okay, admittedly, I really wish there was more than a 30-second teaser for this, but we got to see quite a bit. We got to see them taming. We got to see examples of the worlds, the environments, the special abilities, the breeding. We got to see dungeons. We got to see elite monsters out in the world. So much was covered in that 30 seconds. So it goes on to say, monster breeding in action RPG. Explore the world and raise legendary monsters. Volzerk, Monsters and Lands Unknown, the cross-breeding action RPG. Join the protagonist, Fina, on an adventure to discover legendary monsters. Raise monsters, join a colorful cast of friends, and face off against powerful enemies. I wonder how many characters there are going to be. I wonder how you go about obtaining these characters. Are they going to be recruitable, or is there going to be... I know gacha, it is a very prevalent feature in video games these days. I'm hoping you don't recruit these characters via gacha mechanics, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure this is a Japanese game, and Japan is obsessed with gacha almost more than any other Asian country, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. The island of Fort Lemuria. Discovered in a vast ocean, this island's rich landscape was dotted with countless mysterious ruins and inhabited by strange animals known as monsters. This game's name is Volzerk. And the creatures, the monsters you find out in the world, they are called monsters, not Pokemon, not Temtem, not Digimon, not pals from like Pal World. No, these are just monsters. I'm genuinely hoping that the game itself is not inhibited and restricted by the same level of creativity as has been displayed in the naming process of pretty much everything. Humankind agreed to organize a research commission in order to investigate the island and the monsters that lived there. Then one day, the island guardian Volzerk clashed with the legendary beast known as Magna, and both were apparently destroyed. So this kind of reminds me of the plot of like a Pokemon game, where there are two legendary Pokemon, they clash, both Pokemon disappear, you go on an adventure, and then, I don't know, you meet the legendary Pokemon, you catch the legendary Pokemon, and I mean, it all just works out in the end. 10 years have passed since that day. Without the protection of Volzerk, the monsters of the island are in danger of extinction. Hold on, wait, so they're in danger of extinction. Can anyone run by me how this is a bad thing? We literally saw monsters out in the world attacking us. These monsters are aggressive. They are not docile, they are not passive monsters. These monsters, they see us and they actively attack us. How is it a negative thing to have them go extinct and not have to worry about them potentially raiding your town, about the dangers of just going outside your home, flying monsters swooping in through your windows, grabbing you, eating, mauling you to death? This all sounds terrible to me. However, a young girl is about to join the research commission. Her name is Fina, and she is the only human alive who witnessed Volzerk's disappearance. With her obsessive love of monsters, Fina's sole goal in life is to get as close to them as she can. And deep within her heart burns the desire to once again be reunited with Volzerk. Wait, so she wants to, so that would lead us to believe that she was at some point connected to Volzerk. Volzerk, what is Volzerk? The guardian, right? So she's like a shrine maiden, a guardian maiden? Volzerk Monsters and Lands Unknown is an original action RPG that brings characters and monsters together for epic battles. Mix and match monsters with different riders to master different skills. Make use of different weapon types and switch out characters at the right time to bring down powerful foes. So, what this, oh my god, the amount of times I have hit spacebar with my elbow. So, it looks as though each character that you recruit is going to have a different selection of skills that have a direct effect on the monsters in question. I don't know how they are going to relate to one another, whether you have like a person that has maybe increased fire damage for fire type monsters, maybe one has increased healing for support type monsters, but it looks like you're going to be required to swap out characters to make use of different monster abilities, and admittedly that actually does add layers of depth to the game, unless of course the characters are once again only recruitable through gacha, in which case the meta is going to be probably gated behind a very, very expensive paywall. Immerse yourself deep in a monster breeding system. Different characters can impart different abilities to monsters, allowing players to raise the monsters of their choosing. Crossbreed two monsters to give birth to a whole new monster, which will inherit its parents' abilities. Raise monsters to fit your own personal playstyle and take down the powerful enemies that stand in your way. You can even crossbreed your monsters with those of your friend. Two things to note here. One, if you have two different monsters and you breed the two of them together, the collective abilities will be imparted onto your new monster. So your new monster, which originally had one ability, will now have two abilities from both the parents. So say this new monster with now two abilities is bred with another monster with one ability. The new baby will have three abilities, and you keep doing this, you can breed multiple together and end up having 6 abilities, 12 abilities, 24 abilities, 48 abilities, and so on, until you have this incredible being of unrivaled power? Because admittedly, that kind of sounds pretty fun to me. It's like one of the Egyptian god cards in Yu-Gi-Oh. Number 2, you can crossbreed your monsters with those of your friends. So there's gonna be multiplayer functionality present here. To what extent, to what degree is the multiplayer going to be present? Are the friends going to be capable of running around the world with you? Are you gonna see them out in the world? Are you gonna be able to play cooperatively with them, join a group, engage in battles? Are you gonna be able to engage them in some type of player versus player combat? What is the extent of the multiplayer? That is something that has not been elaborated on or expressed really outside of the fact that you can trade with them, or not even trade, crossbreed with them. Now the game is launching at the end of January, this month, this year. Unfortunately, once again, this game is launching in Japanese first, but they did confirm they were going to be releasing an English patch in a later update. Now, this is a little bit disconcerting because this is not going to be a large-scale localization project. Rather, it is going to be a patch that they apply to the game. Now, that isn't to say the patch won't be a quality patch, but the fact that they're not employing a team specifically dedicated to localizing the game leaves me a little bit concerned. Asian games, MMOs, gacha games aren't really known for their accurate localizations, their accurate translations. So if a Japanese company with mostly non-English speakers attempt to apply a patch, an English patch specifically, a patch with a language that they don't natively speak, and we expect that to be a high quality patch, we're very likely going to be left sorely disappointed. But that is just speculation that has been unconfirmed. They might hire a localization studio to localize the game into English if the game is a success. I genuinely think this game has the potential to be a lot of fun. I am totally going to download and play this on Steam when it launches. I know I'm not gonna understand anything, but this is gonna be too good of an opportunity to really pass up. I just really wish they wouldn't have went for the name Volzerk. This could be the Pokemon MMO, and if not MMO, multiplayer game that we have been waiting a long time for. This looks like it has a lot more violence. It looks like it has more depth, greater looking characters, and more functionality, mechanics that are just not present in the Pokemon games that really should be. And I think this could deliver us an experience above what the newest Pokemon games, especially Scarlet and I don't even remember the other one, ultimately offered us. Now, if Volzerk isn't your thing, no problem. I got 2 different videos on screen right now that might be of interest to you. One featuring a MMO that I think has a lot of potential. I think you should totally take a look at. The other featuring a list of every confirmed MMO to be releasing this month, in the month of January 2023.